Welcome to Valley's Gold, a show where we explore the people and places who feed and clothe us. On this episode, we seek out exotic farm animals, from North America's largest land mammal, the bison, to a few feathered friends. We're going to visit some unique guests. Please join me, Ryan Jacobson, on this adventure.
Valley's Gold is produced through a partnership between the Fresno County Farm Bureau and Valley PBS. Production funding for Valley's Gold is provided by
the Myers Water Bank and Wildlife Project, an educational outreach program working to teach students about water and wildlife issues in California. Field trips are free for all schools, and each trip's curriculum is based on learning about California water resources, valley agriculture, and native wildlife.
Everyone enjoys getting together to laugh, to talk, and mostly to eat. It sounds so simple, but the reality is that it takes a lot of hard work to feed us. The next time you sit down to eat, remember to thank our farmers, Garge Italian Incorporated since 1949 at 800-696-6108.
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes. At Brandt, our heroes are the men and women in the field, the folks who work hard to put food on our table. Join us in celebrating the Valley's real heroes. Brandt, professional agriculture.
Travels begin on a ranch in the western hills of Fresno County, just outside Coalinga, home to several American bison. The bison, synonymous with the wild frontier, once roamed the American plains by the millions. Today, nearly 500,000 are scattered throughout North America. We've joined up with bison breeder Chuck Herron of Worth Farms to learn more about these iconic creatures. I am so excited about this visit, but before I jump to that, I got to learn, how did you ever get started in the ag business, Chuck?
I grew up in Mendota.
Which is all ag.
All ag. Come up here to West Hills College to play football and to further my education. I was an ag major there. Now I'm a farm labor contractor, and that's what I do for a living. That's my day job.
I'm here now to kind of transition over to, I said a side gig or a passion, but there's a reason I found you, and that was, I've known you for a couple years now, Chuck, but didn't make the connection to the Bison Ranch until more recently, but it's hard to miss you. If you're going out to Coalinga, you are right off the side of the road, and you are kind of that welcoming gate into Coalinga here.
Well, you know, there's a curve out here that if you don't make the curve, you're going to be right in the middle of the pasture, out in the middle of the buffalo.
That's funny. How the heck did you ever start with your first bison?
That would not be the way I would phrase it, but perhaps about 20 years ago, my father-in-law read in the paper over in the Madera area there was a male and female buffalo for sale. So my oldest son and a couple of his buddies got sent over to Madera to pick these things up.
That's funny. One thing to start with terminology is, you know, the bison have been around a long time. They've been around North America for thousands of years. You know, you don't see a lot of them today, but at one time there was 30 million across North America. I mean, it's hard to believe that they were just everywhere. I love bison. But they're just neat looking. There's just something about them.
Well, this time of year we're coming off the winter, and they have a nice heavy coat, and so the color is very nice and thick.
Bison will shed their winter coats in the spring to stay cooler during the warmer summer months. One thing that I thought was unique is that there are some crossbreeds that go in with the bison.
Well, yes, indeed. As a matter of fact, we have one here that was not by design. But we had longhorn cattle running with our buffalo out in the pasture, and they began to crossbreed.
And a lot of people don't know that, but yeah, they will crossbreed with domesticated cattle. They call them beefalos.
We've had some beefalo. We had one beefalo probably hit the scales probably about 2,200 pounds.
Over a ton. That's an incredible size.
He was huge.
Yeah.
He was huge.
Bison are massive animals with enormous strength and speed, running up to 30 miles per hour. To keep them contained, the fencing is made higher and stronger than that for domestic cattle. Big point that most of our viewers, you don't want to go out and pick out a bison and think this is going to be a great pet. These things are
Tremendous misconception.
Yeah.
You know, we've had folks stop by, folks with native Indian blood in them. Oh, we'd love to have a baby buffalo.
No, these things need a lot of care, and like I said, these facilities, these are built for some very muscular and some very big animals.
They're extremely tough, extremely agile, and they can run.
What do you feed a bison?
You know, they like oat hay.
In the wild, bison are grazers, primarily foraging on grasses and sedges. On ranches, they are supplemented with a wide variety of hays. Bison are typically born in April and May, after a gestation of 285 days or 9.5 months. Calves can stay up with the herd 2 or 3 hours after birth. I love bison. That color of that meat is so distinctive, so red, very lean. Tell me about bison meat.
Well, you know, you're absolutely correct. The meat will be extremely deep, rich red.
Well, for those viewers that haven't tasted it, it's not gamey. It has a distinctive flavor that I love. Whether it's steak, round, I mean, it works in all circumstances.
Oh, absolutely.
And the one thing I have to end with, Chuck, I love this, is the fact that, you're on Buffalo Avenue.
Yes.
I think it's pretty appropriate for what I've seen so far today here.
Thank you.
Well, Chuck, thanks so much for sharing your wealth of information.
Thank you for coming out.
Oh, this
appreciate
has been
it,
an incredible treat. I love the bison and just get to see these things up close. Quite the experience here.
Hey, thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Chuck. If it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it probably is a duck. We have traveled to a duck farm outside of Dinuba to learn about the Peking breed. We've been joined by Rick Pittman of Mary's Ducks to show us these increasingly popular birds. Welcome, Rick.
Well, thank you, Ryan. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited to be out near Dinuba to learn about ducks.
Absolutely. We want to show you.
Well, there's some cute creatures, but before I jump to that, can you tell me about Pittman Farms?
Most people know us by Mary's Chickens or Mary's Ducks or Mary's Turkeys.
So you got a diversity of poultry going on.
I had to. And Mary is my wife's name. So we named it after my wife. She's the boss.
Absolutely. And so ducks is, I think, is something that a lot of our viewers probably aren't thinking of as highly Americanized diet, but actually duck is increasing in popularity, and I love it.
You are correct. We raise a Peking duck. That is the popular duck for the Asian market, and also a lot of restaurants now are using the Peking duck.
Peking duck is raised for both meat and egg production. It was originally bred from the mallard duck in China and has steadily grown in popularity in the U.S. and other markets. Around 95% of the duck meat consumed in the U.S. is Peking. That's really a trademark as far as, when you see duck, a lot of time it is advertised as that Peking duck, so there must be something really special about it.
People prefer, yes, one of the main ones.
Got it. So you guys do it all. You have everything from the breeders to the hatching of the eggs to the raising of the animals.
We had to. We had to be able to raise the breeders, make the eggs, hatch the eggs, raise the birds, and process the birds.
Got it. At what point do these breeders start laying eggs?
The breeders start laying eggs at about 20 weeks of age.
Wow. And so then you collect those eggs and you're taking them to the incubator here on the farm.
Yes, we do. We have the hatchery right on the farm on the duck ranch.
Got it. And what takes place in there, and how long does it take to incubate an egg?
It takes about 28 days to incubate a duck egg.
To successfully hatch duck eggs, many variables must be controlled, including temperature and humidity, as well as airflow.
And we're talking maybe 2-3 degrees.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we want to keep that egg at about 100 degrees.
And here on this operation, you set the hatching dates basically twice a week?
Yes, we do. We hatch on Mondays, we hatch on Thursdays. But, you know, they're laying eggs every day.
Every day.
So how do we get all these eggs to hatch on Mondays and Thursdays? So we did trick Mother Nature a little bit. After she lays the egg, we'll gather the eggs and we put them in a cooler. So the egg does not start cell division at 62 to 66 degrees.
And basically it's just being preserved there.
It's just holding.
Yeah, got it. And so from those breeders, you're collecting these eggs and bringing the eggs in. Tell me about that process in the incubator.
Well, basically, we've held him in the cool room, and now we've got him all together, and we're going to put him in the setters. So what we have to do in the machines is we have to turn the eggs, because what will happen if we leave it in one position, the bird will be stuck to the shell and it won't be able to get out.
Got it, okay.
So then after that, we'll put the eggs in the baskets, and in those baskets is called the hatcher. And this is where the duck is able to get itself out of the egg. That duck has to have that hardship of getting itself out of the egg.
And essentially
It's amazing.
It's stress that causes that survival.
That survival is there.
Yeah.
Yes. And we call it green when they first come out, because they're a little bit wet
Yeah.
and things like that. So we let them dry out and get warmed up, get comfortable, and then we'll take them out, and then we'll place them on the farm in the morning.
So once those chicks are taken out, what does it take to make that healthy duckling into a healthy bird?
That's where you have to also take the place of Mother Nature, because she's with her mother, and basically the mother is always able to keep the duck warm. So we have to have a room that is nice and warm and comfortable for that duck.
And what's amazing is these ducklings grow extraordinarily fast.
Yes, they do.
You go from a little tiny thing that just came out of the egg to essentially you have a meat bird at what age?
At about 7 weeks, that
Wow.
bird is ready to come to market.
And then when it comes to the processing of the duck, you guys do that as well.
We have to. Nobody's going to process your ducks. And also, the thing we have to worry about is all the pin feathers. Nobody wants to be eating feathers in their ducks.
Absolutely.
So what we have to do at the processing, we have to use wax. So I know the ladies like to get waxed and what have you, but we have to wax all the ducks, and that helps us pull the pin feathers out.
So there is some secret method to doing that. I was kind
The
of wondering.
waxing
because-
is good.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Well, Rick, thank you so much for having us out here today. Again, it's one of those items I don't think a lot of folks know that we grow here in the San Joaquin Valley.
That's right.
And I want more folks, and I know you definitely do, to go out and eat more duck.
Absolutely, we would love it. Absolutely. So best way to find ducks is get on maryschickens.com, and they can actually text or email Mary, and she will talk to her or one of her girls that helps her.
Well, that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Well, Rick, thank you so much for having us out here today. Appreciate learning everything about the Peking duck.
Thank you. See ya.
We have found our way to the geographical center of California, North Fork, a small town nestled in the Sierra Nevada mountains. We have made the trek to visit a herd of alpacas. To learn more about this adorable creature, we are joined by Lisa Theis, owner of the KT Lee Ranch. Welcome, Lisa.
Welcome, Ryan. Welcome to the KT Lee. Appreciate you coming and joining us today.
Well, I'm excited to meet some really adorable animals. How'd you ever get started in alpacas?
Well, that is a bit of a story because we started thinking when we bought the property here that we wanted it to generate an income. And I was seriously focused on wine grapes.
Wine grapes.
Wine grapes. But as I was doing my research on that, I came across an ad in Sunset Magazine for an alpaca seminar. And I went to it, and there was no going back.
So for our viewers out there, a magazine article can really change your life, or in this case, an advertisement.
It did in our life, that's for sure. That was 20 years ago.
20 years ago, and so that was the nexus of the KT Lee Alpaca Ranch.
Yes, it was.
And so I'm here to learn about these wonderful creatures. Where do they originate from?
They originated from Peru, Chile, and Bolivia.
Okay.
And we started importing the animals to this country in 1984.
Alpacas are a relatively new breed to North America, first being imported to the United States in the 1980s. Alpacas only have one baby, or cria, a year. Gestation is over 11 months. So one baby a year, so gestation, how long is that?
Gestation is 11 to 12 months.
Wow.
And twins are very rare.
So when we go through the whole life cycle of an alpaca, let's begin from the very beginning. We talk about those babies being born. When do you have babies being born up here in North Fork?
Here we breed for November babies, and for us, it's cooler, it's not cold yet. They have enough fiber on them after a month by the time we do get snow. And so it's worked out very well for us to breed at that time of year.
Got it. And so then when it gets to the point when those babies are about to be weaned, what age is that?
The age varies between 7 and 9 months. Typically, I wait till the youngest one is old enough to be weaned, because the babies could be born a month or two apart.
Oh, okay.
And so I wait till the youngest ones are old enough, and then I'll wean all the females together and all the males together.
Okay.
And that process is at least 3 months as well. Females, after 3 months, will go back in with the female herd.
Okay.
The males will go over to the male side of the property, but typically the younger males have to be separated from the older males.
Got it. Okay. So you have those groups, and what happens then to the weaned babies from that point forward?
While the babies are being weaned is when I spend time halter training them and getting them used to being handled. After they're weaned, I will put the females back in with the moms, and they're with the herd at that point.
Got it. And at what age do they start breeding?
The females will start breeding anywhere from, we like to wait till they're 2.
Okay.
They can breed it at 1.5, but it's really a judgment call because some animals mature quicker than others.
Yes, yeah.
So we start breeding about 2, and the males pretty much the same thing, 2 to 3 for the males.
Got it, okay. Now, one thing I don't know, is there different breeds of alpacas or only one breed?
There are 2 breeds, Wakaya, which are you tend to see those more often, the more common ones. They're a real fluffy alpaca fiber. And then the Suri, S-U-R-I, has long dreadlocks that fall from the body.
Oh, wow. And I'm assuming, is there different purposes for what that fiber then will be used for?
Yes, there are. There's a lot of cross-purposing, but the Suri fiber isn't going to give you a fluffy sweater. It's more for maybe suit-type material.
Okay.
It is a heavier fabric.
We are here at just the right time to see shearing, which only happens once a year. The shearing process has many steps before the fiber can be used to make products. Please explain those steps.
So shearing, I am actually sorting the fiber as it's coming off of the animal, and then putting that fiber onto a skirting table where I have a friend of mine, and she's going through the fiber and shaking it and skirting it and grading it, putting it back in the bag with the animal's name on it.
When you say now skirting, what exactly is skirting?
You're taking out the coarser parts.
Got it, okay.
Your prime is the blanket, which is the base of the neck to the tail and around the sides.
Okay.
When we keep that separate from any upper leg or neck fiber.
Got it. Yeah, and you talked about the grades. Explain those grades to me.
So there are 6 grades of fiber, 1 through 6, 1 being the finest, 6 being the coarsest, all very usable fiber.
And even this novice here, as we walk through these and you're showing me the different ones, I can notice the difference. I mean, they're all fantastic and just so different of a fiber than I'm used to, but there is a difference in those different areas. And then most importantly, what I loved going through is you have some of your products on display. You make products out of these fleece, which is awesome because you're getting to see it from the beginning to the end. Explain some of those products you have on display.
So that was the whole reason we got into the alpacas. It wasn't just a breeding industry for me. So we shear them and we put that fiber into product. There's an end result there. And I have local artisans do most of my product production.
And you have everything from clothing to scarves to hats to mats, you name it. Lots of things can be made out of alpaca fleece.
And every year I'm coming up with new ideas and asking my production people to experiment.
Yeah. And Lisa, for our viewers that want to learn more about alpacas, where can they go?
They can contact me, Lisa, at the KT Lee Ranch.
And you're an expert when it comes to these animals. It's been an incredible journey to stop here and see so many of them in one place. And they're just beautiful and just so docile and just really cute creatures.
Yes, they are. I appreciate you guys coming by today. It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much, Lisa. We are ending our travels on the California Central Coast near Solvang with a visit to Ostrich Land, USA, to see the world's largest bird. Our guest is Blake Fowler. I am excited. I'm here to see ostriches.
It's an exciting place.
Yeah, absolutely is. Tell me about Ostrich Land.
We're located in Solvang, California. And what we are is a ostrich and emu farm. Wonderful farm for people of all ages.
And one thing that you just amazed me with is we got emus here too, so it's not just
Correct.
2 for 1. So you get to see 2 of the world's largest birds all in one spot. Those emus, are they about half the size of an ostrich or so?
Roughly so, yeah. So the ostrich is the largest bird in the world. The emu is the second largest bird in the world.
Oh my gosh, well that's incredible. The actual ostrich itself, is there multiple breeds of ostriches or just one?
According to the scientific community, there's 5 different breeds of ostriches. What we have here is just your standard South African ostrich.
So they're native to Africa,
Correct.
and then the emus are native to
Australia.
Australia. So okay, we got 2 different continents going on. Let's just focus right now on the ostrich itself. How do you raise an ostrich?
Very carefully. So ostriches, they lay a ton of eggs.
An ostrich can lay an egg every 2 to 5 days and can average 80 eggs a year, depending on their age.
So this would be a non-fertile egg right here. And actually you can tell this one, though it may seem large, is actually a little bit smaller. Yeah. This egg I would say is roughly equivalent to 16, 17, 18 chicken eggs.
It's incredible.
Once the egg is laid and the process of incubation begins, temperature must be maintained for embryo development. The desired temperature for ostriches is between 97 and 98 degrees Fahrenheit, lower than most other birds. What is the incubation period?
Now incubation period is roughly 45 to 52 days.
That's incredible. And so when those babies come out, how big are they?
They're about the size of a normal sized chicken, I guess you could say.
Okay, so they come out, and then what do you do from that point forward? Now, on this farm, are you actually hatching babies?
We are hatching babies because everyone loves baby animals.
Absolutely.
So we actually have an incubator and we do incubate the eggs, in which case we will be taking care of the birds from day 1.
Okay.
But we also let them hatch naturally, and we have our breeders, which actually these are 2 breeding females, and we'll have them in this pen. We'll let them stay with the mother and father and the whole harem roughly a couple weeks.
Okay.
Just to slowly wean them off.
And then how fast do these things grow?
It seems like overnight, but they can grow roughly 10 inches a month.
Oh,
so
wow.
less than a year, they're about full grown height.
And one thing I was noticing out here, there seems to be some that are very kind of, I want to say darker, more black in
Correct.
look, and then some that are more gray in look. Is there a difference going on there?
So a lot of people ask, what's going on? Is it gender? It is gender. Now when they're young, they all look the same. You can't even tell them apart. As they get older, the males will start to get the darker black feathers, and also their beaks and their legs will start to get that pinkish orangish color. The males are the more attractive one to attract the ladies.
We're going into that breeding season here pretty
Correct.
quickly.
Yep.
Explain the dance to me.
The dance. The dance is very interesting. If my family were here, they'd be like, you got to do the dance on camera. So I'll go ahead and give you a demonstration. What the males do is they crouch down, they spread their wings out, and then they move their head across like this. And that is supposed to be the attractive dance to get the females interested. And if a female's interested or not, she'll either just lay down right in front of them or they'll run away scared.
Yeah, exactly. But I got to see it firsthand, and it is different, to say the least. And when it comes to, you talked about being open to the public, you get up close to the animals. And this
Correct.
is just an incredible experience to be able to feed them out of a pan, and they're just really inquisitive. They just really want to know as much about us as we want to know about them.
Yeah, it's really a hands-on experience here at Ostrich Land. We like everyone to come and get as close to the birds without getting, too dangerous.
Yeah. And there's one thing I have to ask, because you always hear, I think it's a wives' tale, but do they really bury their head in the sand?
We do use the slogan and we roll with it, but unfortunately they do not bury their heads in the sand. They do peck at the ground and, eat stuff off the ground where it can appear that they may have their head in the sand.
And the one thing I want to wrap up here, Blake, is you guys have an incredible gift shop, but most importantly, folks can walk away purchasing an ostrich egg.
Indeed, they can. We have a wonderful gift shop where we sell a lot of different great things, but one of the biggest items being the ostrich and emu eggs.
And you told me there's something a little special and unique about those emu eggs.
Yeah, the emu eggs are really cool. They have this really pretty green, turquoise, teal blue color. You can actually do some really cool artwork with those. We get a lot of artists that are doing etchings and artwork decorations. So it's really nice.
Well, Blake, thank you so much. This has been just it's incredible to get close to these spectacular birds, and just to be able to really interact with them has been a special treat today.
Yeah, it's really fun, and we've been happy to have you folks here.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks so much, Blake.
Thank you.
I hope you've enjoyed our time together exploring some very exotic farm animals. Join me next time for more Valley's Gold.
Valley's Gold is produced through a partnership between the Fresno County Farm Bureau and Valley PBS. Production funding for Valley's Gold is provided by
the Myers Water Bank and Wildlife Project, an educational outreach program working to teach students about water and wildlife issues in California. Field trips are free for all schools, and each trip's curriculum is based on learning about California water resources, valley agriculture, and native wildlife.
Everyone enjoys getting together to laugh, to talk, and mostly to eat. It sounds so simple, but the reality is that it takes a lot of hard work to feed us. The next time you sit down to eat, remember to thank our farmers, Garge Italian Incorporated since 1949 at 800-696-6108.
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes. At Brandt, our heroes are the men and women in the field, the folks who work hard to put food on our table. Join us in celebrating the Valley's real heroes. Brandt, professional agriculture.